Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel got a bird's eye view, hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess on my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the errands need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Call us dangerous, ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us, no barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much, actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog, I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke. So my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Come on, set. 10-2 stop. Keep it up. Tight.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line. Now Gordon. Fighting through it, he's got space. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Melvin Gordon, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Check, ready. Come to Andy. Check 56. Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. On second and 11 now. Jackson. And the Raiders have got him. Ben Heaney. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third.
Set. 15 on it. 15 on it. Yeah.
Here's Jackson on third and long. Forced out to it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether it's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. A shotgun snap for Smith. Going for it all. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jermaine Kearse with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that'll make our score 14-7. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
5 yards on the carry, good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Get ready, man. Jet bomber. Get it.
Back to throw, Smith. Complete out right to Kearse. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Check 3. 61. Matchbox lights. Hey, Haywood. 5.
On first down, Smith. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And an alley to run. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Raiders pick it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this, and it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Here we go. Set 50, plant. Hey, stand up. And ready.
They go back to Gordon here on 1st down. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, Smith. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Josh Reynolds, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Bailey got the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. The 20. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taywan Taylor hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are back within a single score. Crosby connects on the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Smith. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's go,
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Smith, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They are going for it. It's Smith. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? Smith now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
Hey, exit. Check Mike 57. Leo. Me and you. It's just me and you. Now.
From the gun, here's Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
2nd down, it's Henderson.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Smith. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offensive summit.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Jackson now. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. Guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Throwing on 2nd down, Jackson. Flush to his right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. The Browns on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Jackson. He finds Roberts, complete. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Jackson from a shotgun. Throw left side complete. It's Cohen. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
Jackson throwing again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. They go play action with Jackson. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. He's got him in. Complete. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Seth Roberts, 79 yards. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. Crosby with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's Gordon. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Protein spill. No. Hey, high 7. Go.
Play action. It's Smith. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Smith. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. This pass complete to Reynolds. 21 yards there. A big play on fourth down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical.
Oh, Cohen lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Ready.
52. Watch 52. 52's the mic.
80 weapon. Back. Let's go.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Reynolds with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, They've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. Jackson eluding the pressure right. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Smith now from the gun. He'll throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad. Yeah. They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The Browns drive about to get started. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game. But I'm going to be a good...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Set. 60 or. Hey. Slam.
Now Gordon on first down. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this third quarter of play.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy?
Ready? They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Off of play action. Here's Smith. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we? No. Because ordinarily that.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead will swell by one more. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The offense back out there at the line ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Jackson. Rolling to his right. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A gritty play there. Put his nose down and got his guys a first. Here's Jackson. Being chased out left. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 11 yards there, first down. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Now the backup Kaiser to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And he's going to go down again. Aaron Lynch. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This is Gordon as they go to him again. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. The Raiders on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Henderson will try and run for the first. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Bailey got the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. Uses the spin.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open.
And the Raiders have got him. Aaron Lynch, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson, and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw is Jackson. Steps away to his left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Here we go. 50, plant. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check 26, check 26.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and that'll bring up second down.
Incomplete. He was covered by Trey Waynes.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right.
Smith going to throw it. Dancing to his left. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Raiders, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Browns, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.